I'm Kari.
I'm Peter.
Week 3, we're doing this. This past week we had a couple people ask us why we're doing this, and I just thought, we talked about it a little bit. It's not why are we doing the video? That's not the question. It's why are we committing to something and doing it once a week and incorporating it into our lives? And it's because we believe that if we change one thing or we add one positive thing into our life, it will positively affect everything in our life. So we do that all the time individually and as a couple, and this is what we're committing to. So just want to say it's harder to get motivated to do this one today, but we're here, we're doing it. We're doing it. And the other thing that already happened, which actually surprised me, is I learned something because of the video we did last week. I asked Peter some specific questions this week, and he was able to get some clarity about a different focus he wants to have or priority he wants to have. And what he was talking about was rest and nutrition and reduction of stress. And I thought it's how to have the perfect ride, because that's usually what it is, or the perfect run on a how to perfect a ride or perfect but instead he was talking about he wants to focus on optimal rest. Is that what and so do you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, so what it takes to, and we've heard it over and over, the end result of whatever, a performance, a day, a lesson isn't the important thing. It's how you go, the steps it takes to go into that is how you have that optimal performance. And actually, there are lots of small things that you can do to have an optimal performance, which is, when you go to sleep at night. And because of the way our lives are with getting to work on time and ready, that's a hard out. 5:30 comes, 9 o'clock, the 4th grade is coming, but when you go to bed at night, that early time is really important. So that's where the time spent focusing on going to bed and making that more of a hard in to bed is the key.
So this week I've been more sensitive to it. So he always takes a power nap after school, and I've made that so I'm quiet, or
power nap is 20 minutes, 17 to 20 minutes.
But then he has a full afternoon and evening, or and then really being sensitive to him going to bed at 9 or before 10.
Before 10.
So I've just been more sensitive to it, and I've just noticed how much more sensitive I am, how much more I'm supportive of that, because it's just something that came up this past week, which is just a tiny little thing, but it's not. It changes everything. And then, we had a great week of sunshine in Minnesota and Minneapolis, and yesterday it started it was just low clouds and gray, and I shouldn't look at the forecast, but I do, and it looks terrible. It looks just gloomy and gray and gloomy and rainy all week, and part of me is if that's all I have to complain about, man, that is a great life, right? But the truth is, it affects me. It affects me. It's affected me our whole lives. My whole life, the lack of sunshine affects me, and it's psychologically been proven. And
you've done a lot of things to compensate for that because of the way that it's gray here a lot of times, and that affects you, but also affects your job. You have to produce, works and pieces, and if your mood is changed out of that, then it's going to affect what Kari's outcomes are. So she's done happy lights, vitamins. She recently took on this sunshine drink recipe that I haven't really tried.
Liquid sunshine,
Liquid
which
sunshine.
incorporates all the vitamins that I
Right.
need. But there's mood lighting around our house all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm plugging in lights. Like
we have Christmas lights hung around the house.
we call them Christmas lights, but they're not.
They're not.
People have them year round.
I know.
But they're all over.
When we first got together, she had these lights, strings of lights hung around the house. And I was just like, why are we having the lights on? You gotta turn the lights off. I mean, there's an energy crisis, you know, and Kari's like, well, I need energy, so I have them on.
That's exactly right. Oh gosh. And so one of the fun things we did this week that was like a treat for us, well, yeah, it was a treat. So you would come home from school and was it live at that time?
Yeah.
Or you had recorded it?
So in the United States, the World Tour races, cycling races, are usually I watch them in the morning. Like we just got done watching the World Tour race in the morning, but when it's in California, the World Tour of California, Amgen Tour of California comes to California, and so I go to school and then come home, and then they're racing in California after school. So it's a really big treat to come home after school, turn on the Tour of California, and cast it onto our television, and then we got to watch it after school. And that
So
was
we would
really
put in
cool.
our work days, and then our break, our respite was like watching the tour of California together, and then go on with the rest of our afternoon and our evenings. And actually, this past week was the first mountain bike ride you took.
Yeah.
Outside,
then,
since your knee.
Right.
Since your knee, yeah. So that was really fun. We went to Theodore Worth.
Yeah.
And I bring my book, which the book I read this week was Men We Reaped.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard book to read, but I think very worth reading. And I took my book and I sit in my Crazy Creek chair and he rides, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful summer is on the way, and I'm a summer girl.
Yeah. And we listened to a thing last night about music while you're riding, not on the trails or on the roads. I don't usually wear music on the roads, but when you're training or something like that, you put music on, and it just helps a lot. And I've done that, and I've known that study for a long time. But yeah, so it's just really fun to be together doing different things in the same place. Because a lot of people ask us, hey, Kari, do you mountain bike?
Haven't really since we moved here,
Right.
which is a lifetime ago.
So then everybody's like, well, Peter's a mountain biker and a skier. Why don't you, how does that work? But it works because, it just...
We enjoy what we do a lot.
Together doing
And
different things.
Yeah, totally. We're going to sign off. Make it short this week.
Yep. And don't worry about hitting the like button or subs. We're not stressing about that. It's all you. It's all good. Cheers.